Guys, it's your Chook Man here once again. As you know, I like to tell you real life stories about the Chook Man and what he's been through and all that. So we're going to be talking about how I never met my real father or my real mother. Well, my real mother, she gave birth to me in Paddington, New South Wales. Apparently, she come to Shepparton. She got breast cancer and she died, passed away um, at age 37 years old, which is pretty young for a female to die, and to die of breast cancer. That's shocking. So she's not here to have that conversation why she ever gave me up or why she never ever wanted me. But that's another story in itself. And my father, well, I never got to meet him. He passed away age 70. It says in my folder that I got from Open Place that he passed away age 70 and his job was a barman. He was serving beer over the in one of the pubs in Sydney. So that would have been a real sit me down listening to his story if I had met him, which would have been good. It would have been interesting and listening to his side of the story. But unfortunately, the Chook Man never got to that side and found out because he's no longer here. I'm going to go back to Open Place and ask him, can they give me the information where he's buried, and go to his where he's buried at the cemetery and see if I can pick up any vibes. I don't know. He mightn't have even known about me, but how we knew about him in the folder is my mother, real mother that gave birth to me in Paddington, New South Wales. She gave birth to me. She mentioned that Tony Camilleri was the father to the baby, and that baby was me, which now I am a grown man. But it's a very complicated and awkward story on how they had me and then got rid of me, but I really wanted to meet him and sit down and calmly and have a talk to him and listen to their side of the story. And I'd sit down and tell them my side of the story, where I've been and what I've been through and all that. But unfortunately, I never got to have that chat with him. They've both passed away. But guys, I can't say it enough. If you've been fostered out and adopted, and you're looking for your family tree, go to Open Place. Now look this up. Open Place. It's down in Collingwood in Melbourne. They went up and above to help me. They got my Ward of the State folder. Now, not everyone that gets fostered out and adopted gets these folders. They're about yay big. You might have seen them on my other blogs. Um, yeah, they're a government organisation mob. They go up and above to find out as much information as they possibly can on your natural mother and father and family. Um, Unfortunately, my research was shit. I say that respectably. It was just shit. I didn't get to find out what I was looking for. I would have loved to found out what happened and why I ended up in the system. But they're both passed away now, so I'm not going to be able to have that conversation, unfortunately. But it is what it is. I just got to accept it and move on and pretend I never had a real mother and a real father. I know it sounds shocking, but it's a real kick in the guts when you don't get to sit down with them and listen to their side of the story. Well, that's how I see being fostered out when I was young and going to another family that I never felt like I fitted into the foster family from age 2 right up until I was 16. I always felt uncomfortable. Um, Plus, I was dealing with a disability, and it's pretty hard when you're growing up and you don't fit into someone else's family, man. It's a big kick in the guts when you sit down, when you get to your 50s and you sit down and you look at the big picture and go, you try not to analyze it because it eats your brain away. Well, that's how I see it anyway. I try not to analyse it or think about it too much, because that's when the black dog shows its head. And the black dog is, you'll hear me say black dog, that's depression. Um, Depression in itself is bad. They call it the black dog. I don't know why. I don't understand the black dog. It's just about depression, and they call depression black dog. Um, Depression in itself's pretty bad, but you know what? With depression and anxiety and all the rest that goes with it, you got to fight it every day, or otherwise you might as well just give up. And I say that respectably, and that's what the Chook Man's not about, giving up. He's gonna be a fighter. I'm gonna be a fighter for the rest of my, till the day I die. I'm gonna fight back and fight for my rights in the right way, not the wrong way. All right, guys, that's just talking about not finding and sitting down with my natural mother and father and having that grouse conversation. It would have been really an eye opener to sit down as adults and have that conversation, you know. And it'd be, who wants to speak first? Well, luckily I would speak first, and then my father, if he was alive, he could say his bit, and then my mother, if she was alive. But unfortunately, they both passed away, and that's where the end of the journey of my searching ends. All right, guys, as I always say, have a great day and look after your mental health.